Hello, my name is Andrea Newsom, and I'm a student at Chattahoochee Technical College, and this is ECCE 2322. For today's topic, I'm going to talk about staff records and what goes inside those files. For new directors, knowing what goes inside of a staff record could be quite confusing. According to Right from the Start, programs must have personnel files for each staff members for a duration of 1 calendar year, and it must have the following. The first, it must have an application. The application addresses the name, the address, phone number, experience, work history, education, and all those things that needs to be addressed. Also, a resume could go inside of a staff folder. It has information about the employee that may not be addressed on the application, so this is a bonus which helps the employee. The second thing that goes on a inside of a staff record is a position description form. Description form basically has a summary of the position, the hours, the time, the date, the pay, the duties and responsibilities, and requirements and things like that. Knowing what knowing what the employee is supposed to do is highly important to their job description. All right. Our next document that goes inside of a staff record is acknowledgement of the handbook. Its forms look like this. They come in different. This is pretty standard. This is how I've seen it for the most part. But this form once you sign it, it tells the director that you know that you are responsible for reading the handbook and understanding the rules and procedures of the center. Okay. A handbook is useful and it can give everyone the common reference point and provides new employees with familiarity of the center. And that's by Sierra, Lynch, Adams, and Dorsey, 2016. So, also at the bottom of this form, it also addresses that this acknowledgement is to be placed in each employee's personnel file. So this document tells you that it goes into their file, which is important. And if all of them have that on there, it'll be even better. All right. The next thing I want to address that goes inside of a staff record is training and education, credentials, awards, things like that. And for this example, I use a couple of mine: a Pro Solution, Mandated Reporter, and my CPR and First Aid training. With both of these certificates, what you'll notice is that they are both signed and dated by the instructor, the hours it took to get these certifications, and what day I completed them, which is very important also. The next document is emergency contact. Emergency contact is very important. First, for a person that do have a medical condition and it is aware of what's going on with them, we have someone on file to call on their behalf. Okay, in case an employee does not know that they have an underlying health condition and something may happen at work, we also have information to contact someone about the employee and so forth. We also use these forms in daycares to maybe contact a person if their phone's no longer working, or get in touch with them. So yes, this is why this form is important. All right, moving on. The next form would be the daily attendance record and payroll form record. So basically, and all of them are different. Each daycare does things different. Some have time cards, some don't. Some have to write down their time. And when doing so, this helps that. helps with your time and how to pay your employees. They can come in, initial the time they start working and the time they work end, and they can do this every day until the end of the week or every 2 week period when it needs to be turned in for the director, and then both parties sign acknowledging that they both know that these hours and records are correct from when they were there. And according to Georgia Department of Labor Handbook, this document is required because they need to have these to keep records and wages of hours of each employee that work under them, all full-time employees. So yeah. So this last document is a tuberculosis test. Tuberculosis test is not required by all facilities. According to the Georgia Department of Human Services, it says there is no state that requires staff to be vaccinated or provide proof of immunity. However, individual facilities may require vaccination, and if so they do, this form, you need to get this test done. You can get your local doctor's office, health department, wherever they serve to do TB tests. And what the director is looking for is a negative result, which says, hey, this employee has not been infected with the bacteria of tuberculosis, and therefore they are safe to work with children. Because at the end of the day, we're working for the health and safety of the children. All of these files, all of these documents that I just spoke about that goes inside the file are very important because the state issues daycare program a license to operate. They must keep up with the standards. When state come in, they come in to see if the daycare facility is maintaining those standards and keeping up with what they need to do. State can come in and ask for these files out of any order. They can say, I need all the files. They can ask for the last hires. They can ask for the last, middle, and the end. Or they can just say, or they might not ask for them at all at that time. But the best way to make sure these documents go inside of a folder is by using a checklist. A checklist for each item to make sure that employee have what they need to support them during evaluation. Evaluation will help them get a raise if their trainings are up to date, their education is complete, and their competence level is much higher from the day that they first started, and things like that. So that's all I have for you, and thank you for listening.